Mike, let's do some roadside chats.
Let's do it.
All right, this one comes from an officer in California. It's actually a pretty good scenario. I think a lot of officers would appreciate the answer.
Okay.
So he says, an officer has video footage, like Ring doorbell, business footage, phone recording, etc., of an unknown person committing a misdemeanor crime. Let's say like stealing something from somebody's yard or whatever.
Okay.
The crime happened a few days ago. The same officer sees the suspect. Now, he knows it's the suspect because the video is very good. It's like 4K type stuff. He knows that's the guy. And he finds him a few days later in a public place. Now he wants to detain the guy. The guy's uncooperative, doesn't want to give ID, etc. What is your intuition here, legal intuition here? Do you think that the officer has the authority to stop this person and give him a citation?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we're talking about this here, we're looking for a legal justification to, if we want to encounter people that's outside of a consensual encounter, we've got to have either reasonable suspicion or probable cause that this person committed a crime. And you said the cameras are clear, which is crazy how clear some of these Ring cameras are and thing out here. And the guy stole the poor lady's bird feeder out of the lawn here. And, that's Anthony Bandiero. I the shirt that you're wearing, it's unmistakable that's you. If, you might even be past reasonable suspicion.
Well, I think,
probable cause that this guy committed this misdemeanor theft.
Yep. I have seen cases that tell cops to be hesitant on reasonable suspicion stops that are stale. Which makes sense.
I can understand that. There's a significant amount of time that's gone by, and maybe some of the evidence is gone cold.
Yeah, and it's also since it's reasonable suspicion, no crime has necessarily occurred.
Right. Yeah.
So I understand where they're coming from here, but here we have probable cause. Now, there's a couple California penal codes that I try to see if it's relevant. One is Penal Code 836. This is the classic one that a lot of states have, where you cannot make an arrest unless it's been committed in your presence. But is a citation an arrest?
No.
Why?
It is basically a summons to show up court some other time. When we talk about an arrest of a person, you're taking away their freedom right now and transporting them to a jail facility, some sort of incarceration. A citation, you hear it a lot though in cops. It's in lieu of arrest, and it's basically no more than they promise to appear this court date and time. Have a good day.
Yeah, I like to say. Arrest means custody. If you're not in custody, means transportation. I'm responsible for you. If you're not taking them in custody, it's not an arrest.
Right.
And that whole in lieu of, I heard that a lot. There's also a California Penal Code. You have 836. You also have 853.6. This is a statute talking about citations for misdemeanors. It doesn't really have anything relevant today. It just talks about how to issue those citations
procedurally. Okay.
Procedurally, but it doesn't say anything that you can't do it. In here, so at the end of the day, this does not violate, your in your presence requirement, because you're not making an arrest, and you cannot make an arrest in California on this. I know that for a fact, and also many other states you couldn't make this arrest for. Now, some states don't have that in the presence requirement. Correct. Did you know that in the presence requirement is not a Fourth Amendment requirement?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just it comes from colonial days where they But it's not an actual requirement under the Fourth Amendment.
And I guess because if you're talking about the history behind it here, it kind of makes sense, the history behind it, because you weren't there to acknowledge it or see it happening, then you move forward to where you can't walk 3 feet without being on a camera somewhere now. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah,
it's just not required by the. It can't be required by the Fourth Amendment, because you, as a police officer, now that you're retired, have you ever arrested a person for domestic violence?
Way more times than I ever wanted to. Yeah.
Did most of the time did that DV occur in your presence?
Most of the time it did not.
And was it a misdemeanor for most of these?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
And there it is. Yeah.
And those cases never get thrown out.
No.
So it's a statutory thing.
Correct.
Okay. So the last thing I want to talk to you about is California does have a weird. I shouldn't say weird. It is based on some colonial common law, but it's called the stale misdemeanor rule. The stale misdemeanor rule is that. The idea is that if you have a misdemeanor that was committed in your presence and so forth, and you can't sit on it. You can't I saw you commit speeding. Let's say it's a misdemeanor, which is in California it's an infraction. But let's say I saw you speeding today. I don't stop you, but I stop you next week
for that offense.
For that offense, I saw you trespass, but I intentionally don't stop you today. but I use it to stop you some another time.
Yeah, just kind of hold it in your pocket.
Yeah, you're holding like this trump card almost, like, right? Take you to jail card almost, and you're. But a lot of states don't talk about stale misdemeanors. California is really the only one that really even gets into it. Most courts don't even bring it up.
Right.
It's either lawful or it's not.
I wouldn't think that it happens very often.
No, it doesn't.
You know, you're going to take action on what's going on now, or when you do come in contact with that person.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, we feel it's lawful. But at the end of but if you are watching this video and you have anything else to add to this, you're a California cop, a California lawyer, and you're like, hey, you guys got it wrong. Don't forget about this law. Put it in the comments and educate us too.
Always, please.
That's right. All right. Until next time, my friends, hit the like button, comment below, share with your friends, and stay safe.
Take care.